when I come home from work and the kids say, Mum, what are we having for dinner? And I cannot think straight. I just don't know how to answer that question. Is that decision fatigue, or is it mental fatigue, or am I just physically fatigued?
It certainly could be. And this is the crazy part, I think, for me, is just like as a neuroscientist, there's very few occasions where there's a new condition that kind of comes out that we haven't known about for a long time. So like we know a lot like dementia and Alzheimer's and these different challenges in neuroscience. Decision fatigue is so fascinating because it's actually probably a consequence of modern society. It's because we're making so many decisions now than we ever were in the past. So coming home from a long day of work and feeling that frustration or fatigue, yeah, it probably is decision fatigue. So decision fatigue can have kind of two primary consequences, or what we know about. So the first is actually decision avoidance. So this is actually when you say, I don't want to make this decision anymore, right? And you kind of say no decisions at all. This could actually be a foundation for procrastination. So for me, I notice this when I leave an email in my inbox and I'm like, I'll deal with that tomorrow. I don't want to deal with it right now. So I'm avoiding decisions entirely. And when you come home from a long day of work, that could be when your kids ask what's to eat or what can we have, you may try to avoid those decisions.
To be fair, I think my husband avoids them more than anything. It's like I say to him, what do you want for dinner? And he'll be like, you decide. It's like, I can't think about it. Are there any other alternatives to that?
Sure, yeah. Well, first off, if we really think about the decision avoidance, again, what's remarkable to me is we're not really thinking of the implications of that. So by not making a decision, quite often you're giving that decision to someone else. So maybe it's as benign as, yes, your husband now doesn't have a choice in where he goes to eat that day or what restaurant you're going to, but it can have other meaningful impacts in our life because by not making a decision, we're letting someone or a situation choose for us. And the second part of decision fatigue, so that's the decision avoidance part. The other one, consequence, is a bit more sinister, and this is what we call default decision making. So that example of that tennis player making a safe swing. This is when your brain actually says, you know what, I'm not going to let you make any more decisions. I'm going to make an unconscious decision on your behalf. And when your brain does that, quite often it'll rely on what it thinks or perceives to be the safest decision or one that it's most used to, which again, quite often isn't the most appropriate to the situation at hand. And this one's interesting to me because it's something that's happening that we're not even aware of.